Hello and welcome back to Divinity Original Sin's 2 Honor Mode Plus run. We are preparing for a really large battle. As a matter of fact, the bad guys are trying to behead or hang our friend, which we're not really cool with. So what we're going to do is we're going to move as close as possible to them. And we're going to intervene, which as always is going to end up in a fully fledged fight. Well, I thought I wanted to show you how to use this passage here. There we go. Because there's a little bit of loot in there. And that's pretty much it. Oh, wait. So, I think the advantage of it is if we climb up this area, if I remember correctly, we should be closer to the execution spot, which means the whole thing should work in our favor. Plus there are a couple of nails down here, at least the last time when I played it, I had a couple of them. The toolboxes provided pretty good loot. Metal scraps are also fine. There you go. At least one pair of nails. Good. So, we are at the Black Pits. We're not going to loot anything here for now. Our target is solely to get up here. And get into a conversation.
You know where your mistress is, and I know you know it, so talk.
And as you can see, it's actually going to be spicy because there are a lot of enemies up here. I'm positioning everyone so that we have a little bit of extra room. I need to resummon him. The fight is going to be too long, and I want the incarnate to be fresh. Good, here we go. Let's not waste time in the dialogue. Are you shitting me? There we go.
I don't know where Hanak's... Oh! Did you come for the show, elf? Good timing. The interrogation... Well, I was just about to show this sorcerer...
The sorcerer fidgets, and you notice a thin dagger resting in his palm. He slices away a bit of rope, then looks at you, eyebrows raised. The White Magister turns...
Where's Hanag, half...
I'm telling you,
The Magister silences the prisoner, turns to you, and holds out his hands as if to say, well, I tried my best. The White Magister strikes...
A plot twist!
Good, there we go, finally. We discussed way too long because the Incarnate Champion is almost gone. This here is Gwyndian Rins, and Gwyndian Rins is going to be the pain in the ass in this fight because he is not supposed to die, but Gwyndian has the suicidal tendencies where he's just running into everyone. First things first, we need to make sure that Jonathan, the guy who double-crossed our beloved friend, is going to die. So he's going to be one of the main targets in the whole fight. Let me move up here. Even if that provokes an attack of opportunity, I don't care. Because we want to make sure that these guys are not moving up. So, the goal for this combat is really to have high ground supremacy. We want to make sure that these guys here are not doing anything, right? So, with that being said, we're going to focus to CC Jonathan, and that's going to happen quite soon. Lowe's is going to take care about that, but in the meantime, we also need to take care about the marksmen's down here, which means we are indeed going to kill them. High ground bonus damage. Hopefully this is going to be enough. Yep. So one marksman immediately dead. There is still another one over here. Nice little critical hits there. And you can already tell that a couple of the melee characters here definitely will need to be teleported down. So what we're going to do is really the two here are standing next to each other, which is actually quite promising. Let us make it rain. It's going to be all fired up soon, because the fight has multiple stages, and once you reach the later parts of it, it's going to be a massacre. So we almost broke through Jonathan's magical armor, and there you go, he's now frozen, which is exactly what we wanted to do. So we have taken him out. We're going to teleport this guy here, the Magister Knight, down in just a second. Okay, and what I would propose is really to teleport him very far away, like down there. Afterwards, let's haste up and let's give the majority here regeneration to magical armor. So they are fighting from low ground, which is really a bummer for them. Also, their reactive shots do not mean much. Well, they're focusing still on Gwyndian. Just don't move, buddy. That's also one way to deal with it, but just don't move. Now, since he's starting the whole fight, you can now see a lot of voidlings, oil voidlings, have entered the fight. This is going to start all over here, and I can promise you that's going to be messy. It's just a lot of enemies entering the combat. So since we want to make sure that we have a strong position up here, let us for now just focus on getting down the Magisters, really. Syken is getting some wings. We need to make sure that we do not move out of range. Currently no one is in danger, so that won't be a problem. There you go.
The void seeks.
Oh, look at you! Found his way up here. Little oil voidling. And the good part about it is they are pretty mindless and just run through the to the first target. So they will now mostly attack the Magisters. Yep, there you go. They heal from Earth, and there are going to be fire ones a little bit later. So for now it's fine. Wow, Jonathan actually can do something. That was unexpected. We had him taken out last round, but he seems to have such a high initiative that he could act even before we can act. I think it's the safest approach to kill him now. Need to make sure that our friend survives, so that's going to be our main priority for now. And to clear the upper level here. Like this upper level. So let's use the bonus kill on him. Maybe we do, you know what, maybe we don't even need to do that because he's stunned. There's no way for him to come back. I am thinking about though whether or not we want to maybe start here and just get them down. Yeah, that's probably a better idea. So there we go. That's one further guy down. We killed the oil blob already. And we still have Jonathan up here, so might as well start damaging him, to be honest. It's a nice little critical hit. Almost killed him. And this here is going to ignite both of them. Yeah, the Magister Knight whom we teleported down there, he's in a hell lot of trouble because there are lots and lots and lots of these voidlings going to spawn in the next couple of rounds. And he's going to take a beating. Right, Saiken goes up here, and we are now going to finish Jonathan, which we successfully did, so that was good. Saiken is going to do some extra healing. That's mainly focused on Gwyndian Rins, who has the habit of constantly getting damaged. And let's CC this guy. So yeah, we're pretty. We have a pretty stable position up there. No one's up. No one's up. We just teleported everyone out. I would say we're in a very good spot. So let's start. with setting everything on fire. These guys here are very, very susceptible to fire. Very vulnerable, rather. So we killed the last ranger up here, and we set everything else on fire. Great. That was helpful. No. She has way too much magical armor. But I think we can do this here. Currently standing on fiery surface, so might as well use it. There we go. Burning. Immolation. And a nice little trap. So the voidlings are almost dead, by the way. Good. Gwynwyn doesn't look super healthy, so let's change that. Needs armor. We're giving him. He needs even more armor. We're giving him. And he could use the healing. Which, surprise, surprise, we're giving him as well. That's how the fire spreads. Now we are also standing in fire. I can tell you that's going to be a theme for now. It's going to be more and more and more fire. Magister Marksman tries to hit our VIP. Same goes for this guy. As you can see, all of our armor almost has been washed away. And there are the bigger voidlings. These are still oil ones. The cool part about oil ones is they leave an oil trail, so by definition they will always continue to ignite even further, and they will kill themselves just by moving. So this guy here takes a hell lot of damage. We just need to ignite all of these areas. And once they curse it, it's even going to be necrofire, so it will burn for ages and deal tons and tons of damage. Told you about that one poor Magister guy who's still down there? Yep, he's still down there. These guys are hilarious. Unfortunately, I think we're not getting experience for them. I think they're just giving 0 XP. So, Gwydion is... Well, I think he's spreading the necrofire, so that's not bad. At that point, by the way, in the fight, I was like, hey, these guys are taking so much damage. Wow, easy peasy. Before I realized that the next part of the fight had to do with fiery blobs that were actually not taking any damage. So all of a sudden, the fire was hurting us. Oh yeah, we had a couple of Voidlings still up here. My bad. I'm not sure how it's going to play out with twice the amount of Voidlings, because one of the things that really starts to be annoying when you're up here is if you do not make the cut by removing all of the enemies from this pedestal, you are in a hell lot of a problematic situation. This guy is probably going to die by himself. This guy here faces a horrible 1-on-1 against the primordial oil voidling, and he does nothing. We are a little bit improving the magical armor of Rince here. And by a little bit I mean a lot. Because he's just taking a shit ton of damage. And a nice little poison wave is letting everyone explode up there. I think we're only having 2 more enemies up there and this big guy. Let me see if they react to the totems, because there was in my last attempt I was just putting a couple of totems down there and they had just such a hard time. They were cursing the totems. They were just not having any efficient means of removing them, really. So let's just try to use that for now. Still want to see whether or not that is a thing. They used to go for the totems quite a lot, and the more enemies we had, the better it was. Yep, there we go. Look at that, guys. The next wave of voidlings is entering. This time we're talking about fire voidlings. So they indeed are a little bit more resistant against fire, and you can see how all of this here, I don't know if that even is going to render well, but that's an impressively large oil of fire. I really hope that the FPS are not going to drop in their recording. Good. And now we're in a complete different set of problems, because these guys here no longer are having problems with running through fire. Matter of fact, they love running through fire, right? They spread it out. Okay, well, fair enough. I think we still have around 30 enemies, maybe? Just I need to make sure that our friend here still survives. And we need to resummon our incarnate champion. The bad thing about it is we don't want to summon a fire incarnate for obvious reasons, because he wouldn't deal any damage. Let me see. So, if we fly in the middle here, well, that should work. Nice little whirlwind. Oh, that was significant damage. I like it. He's really trying to make it rain. Adorable. Takes an attack of opportunity in return. We need to be careful with this guy here. He's dealing a lot of damage. I wouldn't want to postpone my turn until completely after the round, because I think we can still deal enough damage. Let me just think here real quick. So, these guys are not a problem at the moment. I really don't like the primordial Voidling, but he has way too much armor. We could kill the fire and the other fire voidling. That's probably the best play that we could do. Well, most likely we're just going to kill one, but still, I think that's the best play. There we go. One shot, kill, execution AP, and yeah. By the way, the Magister down here died a horrible death. Just right at his turn, he burnt to crispy pieces. Let me think about it. I think we can start like penetrating most of them. This guy up here is frozen, so he's going to die next turn. And I just want to make sure that the primordial oil voidling is effectively changing his positions with someone who's dead. Let's think about it. With that totem up here. Even better. So yeah, now the apparently the primordial fire and oil voidlings do not like one another all too much, which is fine. They can hate each other's guts all day long. I don't mind. We're going to add Soothing Cold again to the mix. I just want to make sure that we top up our magical armor as long as we still have the option to do so. And we might want to create an incarnate champion out of water, because that's going to be very helpful. It's going to take a lot of damage from the fire. That's a given. But he should also deal a lot of damage to them. Right? Yeah, they are vulnerable to fire. Good. We need to make sure that Seville is getting sufficient magical armor, and also our incarnate down here needs a little bit help. But we can do both of that. And we need to kill this guy because he just literally just walked up with all of his action points. I would advise him to move a little bit less. Sometimes less is more, you know? There you go. He's almost down. And I'll give our incarnate champion evasion. Okay, so this guy is down. Is there anyone else in range? Yeah, I think he over here. Okay, perfect. Which means if we move over here and explode him, yep, it dealt 330 damage. Good. One of the things that I have mentioned in the patch notes as well was an increase to Supercharger to 70% of damage ability. So I think Supercharger plus the Necro Sludge could now actually be a thing. All of these guys prefer to just kill themselves, which is fine, whatever they desire, I suppose. Wait a second, whom did they just teleport in there? Whom did they just teleport in there? He nether swapped 2 targets. Well, apparently none of the relevant targets, elsewise we would have seen it. Okay, there's a Primordial Fire Voidling. Oh, maybe that was the target that he was swapping in. Which, by the way, is not clever, dude. Should have known better than that. I need to kill you now. Bam. There you go. That was a fucking stupid idea, really. It's hard to see them, so whenever you hit the tilt key, the one that usually opens consoles, then you at least see the outlines of the creatures. And I'm trying to see how many threats effectively remain. So this Voidling here is definitely one of them. But before we go for him, let's kill the Fire Voidling down here, because we can't kill the Primordial one in one go. but we can kill the guy down here. Okay. Sybil definitely needs magical armor, which we currently can't provide to her. So might as well start with unloading on this fire voidling. I'm just thinking out loud here. We're on the wrong surface. If we would be on frozen ground, that might make a difference, but being here effectively means we're somewhat stuck. We can't just use our fire skills. He has oh wait a second, he has the chilled indicator, which actually means that we can wait a second, that means we can freeze him. There you go. Forgot about what I was saying earlier. There you go. Because now it's not even going to be a problem. Very good. Okay. Let's increase the incarnate strength down here. Besides, I think we could use the incarnate much more up here. So a little switchery-do might be helpful. And I'm just going to let it rain so everyone gets the cold or the wet buff, which helps us because it reduces the damage that we're receiving when we're a target of fire spells, for instance. And definitely Sybil needs magical armor. Unfortunately, most of our magical armor was just on cooldown because we used it on this guy here. Gwyndian Rinds. Wow, he's taking so much damage by running through the fire. Immense. At least he's dealing some decent damage now as well, I suppose. So hits of 500 are good. Let's get rid of the fire voidling first. So that side is completely cleared. Most of these guys still have full life, and there's one lonely little bugger over here who's not even moving anymore. So might as well start shooting down this primordial fire beast. It hits for 600, but only against targets that are vulnerable to fire. Still, I think pretty decent. Pretty decent damage. Before we go down there, let's just delay our turn. That's fine. So, fresh magical armor for everyone. Very good. We don't need any physical armor per se. And I'm thinking... yeah, we unfortunately do not have enough for Ice Fan. That would be perfect by now. But we have enough to at least let the Incarnate Champion regenerate. Oh, and let's just give haste to Syken. The combat is almost over. Just trying to put all of them in one spot. And kind of slow them down. And these two here, yeah, they are now going to move towards us, but I'm not afraid about them. So let us move down here. Both of them are being knocked down. Okay, good. Oh no, not enough AP. No, let's not chicken him. Let's just go for with it for the next turn. So I think we killed most of them, and unless Gwynwyn here is going to sacrifice himself by just running into the enemies, this here is over. Hits for 500 each. Good job. Incarnate Champion is doing work. Little bonus kill down there. I think we're not fully going to kill him, but still. Yeah. Pretty close. One shot. Two shots, and bam, there you go. Done! And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how you enter one of the most, or one of the largest fights.
Gwydion exhales.
I have to go.
The sorcerer waves.
Can we just all agree to not be like super stupid and run through the necrofire with little retards? Well, that would actually be super appreciated. If you would have just stood there instead of ran through it, that wouldn't have nearly killed you. So, key points in that combat: keep the high ground, just gives you such a large advantage. Make sure that you keep your VIP alive. It's actually not that difficult. And yeah, stage 3 is profit. Which we're trying to do because the necrofire is still burning. Not a single one of them survived. We killed all of them. And Jonathan will now, we'll talk to him one more time. But first of all, let's loot everything. And those of you who aren't so much into stealing, there might as well even be some good loot. I mean, look at that, Jonathan really had some nice items there. So we're not going to use staffs. We're going to use Jonathan's ring as a proof of us killing him. Pyro and arrow. Well, I mean, you know, it's fine. We do have similarly nice rings for her. Does she really need summoning too, though? Probably not. But Huntsman too. She needs that for her jumps, so for her tactical retreat. We have sometimes we found equivalent gear, but since we are so decently geared at the moment, I don't even consider any of that loot relevant for us for now. Let's just loot all of the surroundings. There are a lot of nice little mushrooms here for potions. I'm going to do in the off time. I'm going to clean up all of that, matter of fact, and in the next video we're going to look at the quest rating. So I'll stop the video here, do all of the looting stuff, and then we're going to see each other in the next video.